guys, welcome back to Boozerevooze in Black and White. I am Bane and this is D'Amico. Today we're bringing our first Cognac video.
Yes. I'm excited.
We love Cognacs.
Yes.
Honestly, and we're actually bringing the biggest Cognac to the table first, Hennessy. Now, the company is actually Jazz Hennessy and Company, and this is out of Cognac, France. But they are the biggest producer of Cognac worldwide. I think they have something of like 40% of the market.
Holy.
It's
That's
insane. Yeah.
That's a lot.
They're like the Jameson of Irish whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you know about Cognac?
Cognac is actually a brandy from the Cognac region of France. Typically, 3 base grapes are used to produce. It is made from grapes because brandy is from fruit. Anyways, we'll go into that at a later date. Uni Blanc, Colombard, and Folie Blanc, or Foul Blanc, or just correct me if I'm saying it wrong. I have no idea. But it is.
I like Folie Blanc.
Yeah, I like Folie Blanc, but we'll call it Picpoul. That's another word for it. So Picpoul grape is the third, and it has to be 90%, right?
Yeah, approximately 90% of those 3.
Yep.
But then there's other varietals that make up the remaining 10.
Sure.
In that particular region, or in France in general, if you do not want the name Cognac, you can use those other varietals of grapes to actually do most of the 90%. And then I believe there's 2 specific varietals that you cannot use. We won't get that deep into it, and the information might be skewed a little bit, so we'll get to it at a later date.
Exactly. All right.
What about those age statements?
Oh, yeah. So looking at a bottle of Cognac, you will see VS, or very special. That is dealing with any Cognac aged from 2.5 years to 4.5 years. Yes. VSOP, very special. Oh no, very superior old pale. Excuse me. Is 4.5 to 6.5 years. XO, extra old, is, or very rare, whatever you want to call it, is 6.5 years and beyond. Other terms for XO, they have little minute definitions. Can be Napoleon, all sorts of other stuff. So we'll get into that when we start sampling those. That way it's easier. You don't lose us here. So I do want to give a quick shout out to one of our subscribers on YouTube, Cha53 Tafari. He mentioned that he loves Hennessy, so I told him I'd put it on here and we'll go from there. So, yes, let's get into this Hennessy.
Yeah, thanks for your comments. Appreciate it. All right, yeah. I mean, this is a very distinctive nose. A lot of fruit characters, and of course, brandy Cognac made from grapes. So we're gonna get that.
I'm definitely get some wood, almost a hint of like cedar. I don't know, a little sweetness, a little nuttiness.
I can see where we're going with that.
Some really small hints of maple, like maple syrup.
Now I see we're going with the cedar. I'm getting that oak. I'm thinking there's maybe a little bit of kind of a citrus note, or maybe like an orange peel working together to kind of, maybe that's what's bringing up that citrus, or that cedar smell. But it's very elegant. Not too heavy of a alcohol spike on the nose. Yeah, pretty good.
A little more of that really dried orange peel. A hint of wood, a little nuttiness, but that's pretty much all I'm getting. There's some sweetness to it.
It's really hard to say that as far as a fruit component, because it is very light characters coming through. It is pretty creamy, but not overly creamy. The dryness is there towards the finish for sure. And it finishes off, I'm almost getting almost like figs or something finishing off way towards the back.
I can see that. Dried figs for sure, yeah. Little dates almost. It's not bad. I would probably put an ice cube in this. I don't know. It's good, neat, but to me it's lacking the complexities that I'm used to for some of the other cognacs I've had, and that we'll be bringing on the show. I can see why it's more of an entry level. I can see why it's definitely one of the
Highly allocated,
worldwide known scotches. Cognacs. Excuse me. I mean, drinkability is really, really high on this one.
Sure.
It's simple. It's not going to be crazy expensive.
We've been really ruining our palates on these high-end Armagnacs too, so
it's just rough. We need to not.
Sorry.
No, but you know, it's funny. I don't want to go off on a huge tangent. We'll bring on some Armagnacs and tell you a quick story about that. But Armagnacs, slightly different than Cognac. They're from the Armagnac region, which is to the south of the Cognac region of France. And it's interesting, in France, they don't drink a lot of Cognac over there. That's mostly marketed to the New World countries, such as the United States, Canada, Australia, China even, yeah. A lot of the Asian countries will drink it. It's marketing, honestly. So
the main thing I found as far as differences, Cognacs tend to have a little bit more of the nutty complexity, whereas Armagnacs are going to bring a lot more fruit characters to the table.
Sure.
As far as my particular taste,
I think Cognacs are more refined, and I find Armagnac to be more flavor driven.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was going to say the exact opposite.
Well, no, that's
we'll battle it out.
That's
sometime.
what you know. We'll see. Now we're going to have to bring up a Cognac and an Armagnac.
Do it.
And
we'll do it.
Some war. I like drinking wars. That's awesome. Yeah, it's. I've had a lot of different cognacs, so, this is pretty average. This is kind of entry level, standard. This is definitely what I would put out if I'm having friends over. No offense, guys, but yeah, you're not drinking the good stuff because it ain't happening. As far as mixability, I would probably. You can definitely get away with mixing it, using this for cocktails. I would probably find a cheaper brand if you wanted to as well.
Yeah. Straightforward. It gives you oak. It gives you nuttiness. It gives you a little bit of complexity there. It's smooth, creamy. It's got a decent nose. It is simple. I'll give it to you there, but it's got enough complexity to where I probably wouldn't mix it. Drinking it straight is just fine for me.
Okay.
Not to say that mixing is wrong. Hey. Perfectly fine. You do what you want with your money.
You don't have to clarify that to me. I know.
As far as rating it, mid 80s. I'll probably give it a 84. Yeah. I think it did a good job.
I'd give it a 79. I think this is a very nice, like I said, entry level cognac. People that are moving up from, say, E&J brandies or any of that kind of stuff, want to take the next step up. Definitely try the Hennessy VS. You'll definitely notice a difference. And not to knock, American brandies, but they're typically not known for being as defined or
Right.
refined even. But there are some really, really, really good California brandies out there that, in my personal opinion, can knock some of these cognacs off the map. Just saying, we'll get those on and work our way through that too. So.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. Like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter and subscribe here on YouTube. Leave some comments, any questions, so forth. We'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. But yeah, as always, peace.